Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd show you an update on the Skaar carrier, and I did get quite a lot done over the weekend. I might not be able to see it from this area here. This is what I did show on the last video. But I'm in a different lighting environment now, and this is inside of Reforged Eden Creative Studio as opposed to the Reforged Eden game itself in creative mode. There's a difference, and the Creative Studio is a lot brighter, and the lighting I think looks quite a bit better in it. Unfortunately, I also did the last look at the workshop video in this same mode, and I believe it is the problem on why Barefoot and Hillbilly's ship didn't have the guns rendered or displayed on the ship, and it kind of had like holes on where they were supposed to be. It's because of the mode that I picked, and I picked this mode because the lighting's better, and it makes everybody's ships look better, but it also at the same time doesn't show necessarily all the different kinds of weapon types and things like that, and the ones it just doesn't show anything there, so it's just like a hole. And I think that's what happened. That's why your ship didn't display the guns on it that were supposed to have been there, is because the mode that I picked. And I'm sorry about that. I might have to go back to the dark mode of the Reforged Eden game itself in creative mode in the future, or I'll probably run into that problem again of bringing in someone's creation and not properly showing all the weapons. On the flip side, though, the lighting's better in this environment. It's brighter. It's going to make people's ships, if you took the time and did a nice interior and lighting, it's going to look better in this mode. Another side effect with this mode is if I hop into the map over here, you start with these sample planets, and it's kind of neat for testing and stuff because a lot of these planets have different gravity levels and things like that. But it's like none of the ones I want for the Skaar. I mean, I wanted like a desert mesa planet, and I wanted maybe a wasteland planet for pictures and stuff like that, and it doesn't exist. So the only other options going in the main game, which you get the full galaxy, and you'll have all the planets imaginable, but they're all really, really super dark, which I really think ought to be tweaked on Reforged Eden. Maybe I'm a little off put on it. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. But I've been to a few planets, and every single one was dark. And I started to wonder if it was maybe just the planet I was on was super, super dark. And it's like, no, they're all kind of that way. Every time I go to nighttime on any of these planets, in daytime they look great. But at nighttime, you can't see anything. The ships turn all black, and it just looks really bad. And it's really bad to do like interior lighting or interiors in the ship in that environment as well. So honestly, I'm not gonna. For building, I will not build in that mode. I'll build in the Reforged Eden Creative Studio with the better lighting, but I do not want to build inside of the creative mode inside of Reforged Eden. I know it's really confusing when I say both of these, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I had to show that a minute. Hold on. I'm going to just show what I'm getting to, because when I was talking to another author about it, and I think I confused the other author too. So when you start a game up in here, so I'll go here. Either one, you have to go to scenario, right? If you go to creative, this is not Reforged Eden. This is the vanilla games creative mode. So if you go to scenario, if you subscribe to Reforged Eden, you'll have Reforged Eden Creative Studio 1.8. That's what I'm in right now. This is the one that works decent with the lighting. And then you'll also have Reforged Eden 1A. So Creative Studio and just the baseline version. Now in this version here, you gain access to all the different kinds of guns and stuff that this mode doesn't show necessarily all of those, right? This one does. So when you go over here, you set your game mode over here from survival to creative, and that's what I was in. That's what I've been showing the latest look at the workshops in and the stuff I've been building. But the problem with it is the native game itself is dark. It's just too dark. I don't like the lighting environment as a whole, and I like the Creative Studio lighting better. So that's why I'm over here. But again, side effect to that is like in the case of Barefoot and Hillbilly's ship, it does not render all the guns, or it doesn't. It leaves some off. It gets a lot of them, but there's some weapon types and stuff that just don't show up, and I think that was the case. So that is kind of where I'm at right now, and kind of neither setup works great. So here, let me resume. I'll get back into this one here in a second. And right now I'm just at the in the creative studio in space around the temperate planet. So I didn't do like anything with the lighting. I can't adjust the lighting or anything like that in the environment, but it just straight up looks way better. It just looks a lot better. Um, all right. Well, anyway, enough with that. I just wanted to get that out of the way, and let me show you all the different new areas of the ship here. And I've been working on this kind of a lot lately. So let's go into this door over here. This is part of engineering, and this is kind of a weird connection hallway where you got like a balcony off the back, and you have the way I just came in down over here. Plus, this also ties into this walk path along the side of the hangar here. In this room, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on, a lot of blocks and stuff, but there's a lot of it that doesn't go anywhere yet. Someday it probably will. Then you have thruster access. You have your warp drive over here. You have the engineers, the local engineers pad right down there. That's kind of a little bit visible from here. There's another door that gets into his room. And more thruster access. Up here you have a shop, kind of outside of here. I got to get like a name on the shop and some LCDs in place, but this is kind of just a little shop, and the shopkeeper actually lives here. So he's got a bathroom and he's got his little place, and that's his shop. And this gets back into engineering. This is your main elevator. Goes right down to production, down over here, and out to the hangar floor. Let me get back off at this floor. We'll take an alternative way. So if I take this up another floor, I'll get to another part of engineering, or I can take this wacky little tunnel thing up through the floor, through open vent here, and I can get there this way. So this area here is where the shield is, and all your Core 9 CPU blocks. So your basic, your improves, and your advanced CPU cores. The advanced, 3 of the advanced are right in here actually. And then you have some more thruster access going on. And then some of these rooms down here kind of wind around a little bit. This directly looks over the production area. A little storage area back over here. And then a way back out to your central hallway here. So just some wacky little areas. If you keep on going down this way, now it largely gets unfinished. You can kind of see where the borderline is here. And this is the solar panel viewing area. Yeah, you got to have one of those. No, I'm kidding. But I was either going to bury the solar panels or open it up and try to make it look like something. And I decided to go with the look like something idea. So you got these little walkways that head into this room space so you can look at your solar panels. Yeah, why? I don't know. But it's just, I think it looks neater than just filling it in. I could have just filled it in and you never known there were solar panels there, but I kind of like the idea of kind of being able to see them. And there'll be like some more little rooms like that to display all the solar panels. It'll in the Reforged Eden version, it'll come with 24 large solar panels. So that's on this floor. Let me get back down one way through here to the main elevator again. Now, if you're operating this ship like for gameplay, everything's going to still be pretty close to the elevator. You're going to go right down to production, hangar floor, right up to the bridge, and then side floors for the farming, like this floor here. Oh, we haven't actually walked this floor yet. Okay, so this floor here will go into the farming thing. I'm going to have to change the farm zone because I want a doorway into the farming section here, which is the closest or the least amount of distance walked to get to the farming area. Right now I kind of got this walled off, and that would force you to walk all the way around, which I don't like the idea of. So I'm going to probably move the grow plots around a little bit. So off to the side over on this room here, we have our quantum and auxiliary core room, and it's got a few locations to add quantum and auxiliary cores, and an awful lot of open space in the middle for it too. You can kind of see some of the other cores through the wall here on this side of the room. Yeah, you just got to have a core room, no big deal. And then this is another main corridor kind of up on this level here on this side of the ship. Now everything is asymmetrically done, so none of the engineering on the other side of the ship has been even started yet, and it's going to have all different stuff. So mainly I'm going to focus on housing reforged Eden shield parts and maybe even a place for a fusion reactor. Don't know if you'll ever need it, but it might have room for it because I just got a lot of room. Um, so over on this side here is kind of a wacky idea. I've got a 320K storage controller here, but it's self-contained in the blocks that you see. So nothing goes into the ceiling, nothing goes into the floor, and it's copyable. And I was thinking about, I wanted to tweak this out more and then maybe copy it one or two more times in this journal section here. And that would be like maybe some extra storage, the ammo bay, things like that. Again, fairly close to the elevator. Stuff like that. Might even have like a section for like crafting ammo or something like that in there. As we head this way, this is that core room, and then this one here was extra fun to do. This is the Skaar pool. You got to have a pool in the Skaar ship, so this is their pool room. And I really had a lot of fun with this. The idea behind it was I wanted it to look pretty, kind of like it does. Kind of crude. The whole pool itself, I wanted it to kind of look a little bit like if you cut a big tank in half, and this is the bottom side of the tank, and it even has like a model number on it, and then they filled it with water, and that's how it is. And here's your pool. Here is your luxurious swimming pool area for the Skaar. And it's, obviously it's really industrial looking and everything like that around the pool. So I did that on purpose, even put in a radiation sign just to be stupid. But yeah, kind of fun. Got a little shower curtain shower over here too. But yeah, Skaar pool. Didn't even know Skaar could have a pool, but they got one now. Gosh darn it. So let's see. I think that's it heading this way on what I got done so far. All these things took a while, though. I worked on this pool area probably a good 3 hours last night. I came up with this idea, I thought about it. I'm like, I got tons of room. What am I going to do with all this space? And it's like, how about a swimming pool here? We could do that. It's directly like over the solar panels, It's like, in fact, I think somewhere you can even see part of a solar panel down in there. I don't know. It's Skaar, it's Skaarified. It's kind of what I wanted them to be the whole time. So other areas, I'm kind of working out this area, and it just kind of like drops off. It's like you can see areas that I built, and then areas where it stops. If we were to go up a little bit further, I don't even know if I have a door out of here. I started kind of working on a generator section, at least for the stock generators of the ship. It's probably going to need two of these large ones. And I think that's going to do it for the power consumption that the ship will need stock. Now it'll have more locations to add more parts and stuff, and a lot of that I might even squeeze in a couple more in this room area, but a lot of that might be on the other side of the ship for upgrading parts and stuff like that. So yeah, just stuff like that. I also kind of changed my building method around a little bit. I was going to try to lay out the whole interior to know exactly where everything was going to go before I started building rooms up. But I'm having so much fun just building rooms up and being kind of chaotic with it. And kind of liking the results of that I'm just kind of like, I'll just pick a direction. Like, this afternoon when I get some more time, I might just, maybe over here, I'll just like, well, let's just start extending everything out this way. And let's fill up this area with something and fill up this area with something and maybe get a little bit more of the hangar area done. Stuff like that. And then I'm going to have to head to the other side of the ship and start just building that up. And it's going to be totally different on this side of the ship versus the other side of the ship. And then this massive floor over here, too, that is just, whew. But at the end of the day, the idea, at least in like lure concept of the ship, is this is Skaar's essentially Battlestar Galactica. This is their massive ship that the whole faction decided to get this thing operational. They all loaded up on it, and now they're just nomadic, and they're going to other planets looking for resources, trying to avoid getting in conflict with the MCRN especially, or other dangers out there. So often they'll scope out another planet somewhere that might have some good resources and the kind of conditions they like, which are usually more warmer, drier, desert type environments. And then and then they'll shut this thing down, and they can even roll it around a little bit on the ground and do resource gathering and whatever they do. And once they are done with that planet, they can lift off again and head to the next place. And that's kind of what this whole ship is about. It's their main ship. It's their lifeblood. It's how they move around the galaxy. And they do often would fly from one planet to another, but they don't really hang out in space very much. They'll set back down on the planet, and for resource gathering. But also it can bring everybody and all their equipment, all their gear, all their ships and stuff and modules and whatever else they've got. It is their main ship. Might even might even be tagged by some of the other stuff, like the oh man, I can't think of the name. Like a raider, maybe it's got like a raider like tagging along too, and maybe a couple other ships that fly in a bit of a formation when they're doing this kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of the idea I had for Skaar, and I want this one to be, two main goals. One is to, for gameplay purposes, to have it work, to have it actually work. So you've got everything you would want. You got your farming, you got your production, you got your storage. Everything's pretty close by, easy to find. But if you get off the beaten path on this ship and start wandering, you're gonna get lost. I mean, there's gonna be so many weird things in the ship before it's done. You could just get lost somewhere in the ship, and hopefully just keep on finding new things along the way. And that's kind of the whole design idea I kind of wanted to do with this one. It's like I'm trying to keep it semi-organized, but it's going to have a lot of little vents and things and little secret places and stuff. And I'm actually a couple other ideas too. I was thinking about is an area off a ventilation system somewhere that actually leads to an area where a bunch of stowaways moved into, but it's not accessible from a main hallway or anything like that. So that's one idea. Another idea, I discussed this with another author that has done a lot of work for this game, and Mr. Crazy Z, and I want to have a shop somewhere, and I don't know exactly where that's going to go yet. There's a lot of places it could go. That's going to be kind of like the idea behind it, and it sounds really fun. I'm kind of excited to build this part of it too, is I'm going to try to emulate Crazy Z's styling. I'm sure you're all familiar with Crazy Z's work, and he typically goes into, premium luxury decor and things like that. So I kind of wanted an area like that and set up a shopkeeper, or at least with signs or something like that, to kind of portray that a little bit. But it's Skaar, right? So you might walk in the area and it might have similar architecture and things like that to what you might expect in like a Crazy Z design, but it's going to be like all kind of scarred up. Like maybe it'll have some authentic marble, but it'll be broken. It'll have like some plush carpet, but it'll actually be like this printed carpet and with some stains on it, and kind of thing. And just, and kind of go with it. A little bit of comedy, I guess you could say, in the thing. So it's like they're going to have like this little luxury, this club somewhere in it where they can go, and it's supposed to be all like, high-end Skaar luxury, and it's gonna, walk into it. It's like walking into a '70s rundown hotel. It's kind of like, okay, that's Skaar for you. Basically, the same idea of like the swimming pool, but more Crazy Z looking, So that's another idea. These are just some loose ideas. Obviously, there's a lot of places on the ship to fill in with a lot of stuff, and just thinking of neat things that could be put in here. Obviously, I also kind of wanted to put in like some kind of jail. That's a pretty decent thing that it would be fitting in here. Maybe some kind of security room, some kind of jail somewhere. I mean, it's honestly it's kind of that big, where I'm starting to think in terms of like the MCR and Leviathan. The ship is not physically as big as the Leviathan, but it is Dense. Dense meaning it's got a lot of spaces in it, and it's not like big wide open areas besides the hangar and maybe the farm room. But all of these other areas are, they're smaller, a lot of individual rooms and stuff like that. And when you, as I keep on building out more areas on it, the ship just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Not physically, but just the amount of different areas you'll go to and come across and stuff like that. And it's a fun build. I've been really kind of wanting a fun build. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the occasional technical build, like the last month's challenge was quite a technical build with the Core 2 combat CVs. But having a build like this is a lot of fun. I mean, I guess I like a variety. And I gotta. If I don't get this kind of thing out of my system, then I get kind of, and I keep on forcing myself or building like technical builds to try to be really useful in game. It kind of gets old too, and then it kind of like loses a little steam and stuff like that. And you got to have a pick me up now and then. Do something kind of crazy and kind of exotic and kind of fun, and try to be real creative with it, and not worry so much about size class and things. Like this ship right now, it's at 14 on size class, getting close to 15. I got a huge amount of areas of the ship yet to do. Huge amount of areas. I mean, all these rooms and all these weird places and stuff that's going on in here is actually a very small portion of the total room area of the ship yet. And and I also wanted to get this done before Christmas. So I basically, my next couple weeks, every day, I'm going to try to hit as much as I can do, until I can get this thing done. And maybe it'll start all tying together. Obviously, once I get into this hangar area, I'll probably be a few hours on that, and then I can maybe get the hangar area done. At least it's a large open area that's not too demanding. But like going on this side over here and doing everything up here. And there's the hull itself was designed with all kinds of little doors and things all over the place on this thing, and I got to tie all those together, figure out how the hallways are going to work. Oh, I didn't even show you this room here. I actually did this room up too. This is comes down from the flight deck, kind of below the flight deck, and this is like a way to get out of the ship. I guess you can get out on either side, inside or the outside of the ship over here. So yeah, I almost forgot to show you that area. But it's just another one of those things. You don't even notice it, but it's there. It's there. And one other design feature I did want to try to attempt at some point here, maybe once I clear the solar panel section or something, or maybe in the middle of the solar panels, I kind of wanted to do some kind of weird bridge that is kind of open up to the floor that would run across from one side to the other. I know you can just walk across there, but I thought just having like some kind of bridge-looking assembly might be kind of neat. But everything that I'm putting here is clearing the hangar doors and stuff too, because I don't want to mess up the hangar. And I was very particular about not infringing on, like here's your wall block, and nothing I want to interrupt this block all the way from the front to the back of the ship on the hangar. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. I've probably been rambling on way too long, so I just wanted to show you that. Tomorrow I might have a build video picking out a room area and hitting it, and I kind of wanted to kind of go over the method of texturing. It's different from previous Skaars, and I got it down pretty good at this point, and I think I can actually kind of show what I'm doing better if you're interested. It's just a alternative way to think about texturing things, and I think honestly it looks better, but it is straight up, it's more work, it's more processes involved in doing it, but once you get it, it takes a little bit longer, but it doesn't have to take a huge amount of extra time, but it will take some extra time. Anyway, you all have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you later.